Hi everyone, welcome back to Islam Unboxed. Today we'll be talking about the death of Muhammad. This time I want to show straightforward, straight from the sources, from Hadith, mostly Al Bukhari, but some from different Hadith, Sahih Muslim and also Abu Dawud. The Hadith I use from Abu Dawud is not Sahih, but it's still Hasan Sahih, so it's still good. Because why? Because last week I spoke to a Muslim about the death of Muhammad. I asked him, how did he die? And he answered, he was sick. And then he continued, you know, Daniel, because everybody has to die. What a stupid answer is this? I only asked, how did he die? Did he die of COVID 19? Did he die of COVID 20? Just tell me how he died, please. And even that is too much. He repeated himself. And then finally he said he was sick, without telling me what kind of sickness. But again, twice, he went on about how everybody has to die. Now, because of that kind of answer, I don't know. So he obviously lying because and then I told him from what I read from Hadith. He was not surprised actually. He didn't deny. He was not surprised. So I knew he was lying. Why? Because it's embarrassing for a prophet to die like that, like the way Muhammad did. He was poisoned by a Jewish woman. Why? We will read everything. We can read everything from Hadith. The Hadith is there. If the books are too expensive, you can go online. It is there so everyone can read it, right? But some Muslims will answer, oh, he was old. I said, what? He was only 62 or 63 years old. That's not old. Older, maybe, but not old. If someone dies when they're in their 70s, okay. In their 80s, that's old. Right? But in their 60s, it's not old. Anyway, because so many Muslims giving different answers, I'm not actually sure why those people giving different answers. Like, oh, sometimes they go little detail when they say, oh, Prophet Muhammad died of sickness. And then you ask, yeah, what kind of sickness? Fever. That's that's what they give. Fever all the time. Right? But but no matter what Muslims say, let us read straight from the Hadith. Whether you're a Christian or Muslim, you can take a note. And if you're a Muslim, I advise you, please stop lying. And please, if you don't know, or if you're too ignorant to know, please start reading your hadith. Let us start with Sahih al Bukhari. Hadith number 2617. Narrated Anas ibn Malik, a Jewess brought a poisoned sheep for the Prophet, who ate from it. She was brought to the Prophet, and he was asked, shall we kill her? He said, no. I continue to see the effect of the poison on the palate of the mouth of Allah's messenger. Who see the effect? the narrator, Anas ibn Malik. Let us continue to the next hadith. Al-Bukhari 665. Narrated Aisha. When the Prophet became seriously ill and his disease became aggravated, he asked for permission from his wife to be nursed in my house, and he was allowed. He came out with the help of two men, and his legs were dragging on the ground. He was between Al Abbas and another man. Ubaidullah said, I told Ibn Abbas what Aisha had narrated, and he said, do you know who was the man whose name Aisha did not mention? I said, no. Abbas said, he was Ali ibn Abi Talib. So Al Abbas and Ali ibn Abi Talib must carry him out from the house to go to Aisha's house because he could not even walk. He was too weak. He was too sick. Now let us read from Sahih Muslim, number 2190a. Anas reported that a Jew came to Allah's messenger with poisoned mutton, and he took of that what had been brought to him. He called for her and asked her about that. Whereupon she said, I had determined to kill you. Thereupon he said, Allah will never give you the power to do it. He, the narrator, said that the companion said, should we not kill her? Thereupon he said, no. Anna said, I felt the effect of the poison on the uvula of the Allah's messenger. This is Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2190a. So two narrators, Aisyah and Anas bin Malik. Now let us read the next hadith from Sunan Abu Dawud. This one is the grade is Hasan, but it's also Sahih. Hasan means accepted, but it is still good. Not okay. Sorry. Sunan Abu Dawud, hadith number 4511. Narrated Abu Salama, a Jew was presented a roasted sheep to the Messenger of Allah at Khaybar. He said, then Bashir ibn al-Bara ibn Marur al-Ansari died. He sent someone to call on the Jews and said to her, what motivated you to do the work you have done? The Allah's messenger then ordered regarding her, and she was killed. But Abu Salama did not mention the matter of cupping. So Muhammad was sick, got sick from the poison, and then Muhammad received some kind of this how people in the old days, sometimes still now, they use cupping as a method for healing. This narrated by Abu Salama. Let us read on what happened. Why this Jews killed Muhammad? Who is she? Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 2945. Narrated Anas, the Prophet set out for Khaybar and reached it at night. He used not to attack if he reached the people at night, till the day broke. So when the day dawned, the Jews came out with their bags and spades. When they saw the Prophet, they said, Muhammad and his army. The Prophet said, Allahu Akbar. And Khaybar is ruined, for whenever we approach a nation, then it will be a miserable morning for those who have been warned. So the Jews, the Jews, when they saw Muhammad, they know what's going on. right away. And as you can see in the narration, what did Muhammad say? Allahu Akbar. That's the opening. That's the intro when they attack. Right? Now we will read another Al Bukhari. Hadith number 4200, narrated Anas. This is a similar hadith. Narrated Anas, the Prophet offered of the Fajr prayer near Khaybar when it was still dark. Then said, Allahu Akbar, Khaybar is destroyed, for whenever we approach a nation, that evil will be the morning for those who have been warned. Then the inhabitants of Khaybar came out running on the roads. The Prophet had their warriors killed, their offspring and women taken as captives. Safiya was amongst the captives. She first came in the share of Daya al-Khali, but later on she belonged to the Prophet. The Prophet made her manumission as her mahr. So now the first half of the hadith is similar to the previous hadith. However, this hadith explains how their children and women taken as captives, slaves. Safiya, this Safiya bint Huyay, the wives of Kinana. If you remember Kinana, he was the one who was tortured by Muhammad and his companions. They were burning his chest with fire and then had him beheaded because he refused to tell them where he had the treasure hidden. He was the treasurer of this Jewish tribe in Khaybar. And Safia is or was his wife. Let us read the next hadith. Oh, sorry. Before I go to next hadith, actually, the Prophet made her money mission as her mahar. You know, when Muslim men marry woman, they have to give something as a present. I don't know. Could be a camel, could be 5 camels, could be a cow, could be gold, could be anything as a present, wedding present. Now the wedding present is her freedom. Because why? She became slave the day Khaybar was taken by Muslim. So her freedom was the present, the wedding present. So you're not a slave anymore, now you're my wife. That's how it is. Next hadith. This hadith is little long. However, this is like a two hadith in one. Al-Bukhari hadith number 3667 and 3668. Alright, let us read. Narrated Aisyah. Allah's messenger died while Abu Bakar was at a place called Al-Sunnah. Umar stood up and said, By Allah, Allah's messenger is not dead. Umar later on said, By Allah, nothing occurred to my mind except that. He said, Verily, Allah will resurrect him, and he will cut the hands and the legs of some men. Then Abu Bakr came and uncovered the face of Allah's messenger, kissed him, and said, Let my mother and father be sacrificed for you. You are good in life and in death. By Allah, in whose hands my life is. Allah will never make you taste death twice. I will stop there. So this is how they finally realized that the Prophet died. So to make these several hadith short, so Muhammad uh, attacked Jewish tribe in Khaybar. Actually, I believe there are two Jewish tribes there. And I need to remind you, those Jewish are not the same as Jewish in Israel, however. Those Jewish were Arabs. Arabs, all of them. They're not Israeli Jew. And earlier, before that attack, Muhammad expelled a Jewish tribe from Medina. So after Medina became Muslim, he kicked out, he expelled a Jewish tribe called Banu Nadir, which where Safia came from. And Safia then, in the beginning, Safia was married to a different man. She was married to a warrior poet. But then they got divorced, and then Safia married Kinan ibn al-Rabi, a Jewish from different tribe in Khaybar. And he was the treasurer in that tribe. And the warrior poet then married Zainab bint al-Harith, the one who poisoned Muhammad. They were married for about a year, and then Muhammad killed him and her whole family, her uncle, her father, all dead. So now you can see the two characters here of different two women, both of them Jewish, both of them Arabs. Right? And Safia was, quote unquote, I don't know, lucky or not lucky, unlucky, depends how you say it, depends on your perspective. If you're a Muslim, you will say, oh, she was lucky. If you're a Muslim, maybe, wow, she was doomed because she received Islam and was married to Muhammad. So Safia bin Huyay married Muhammad, or Muhammad married her. And her mahar, her wedding present was her freedom. So she was no more slave. And Safia bin Huyay went up, right? She was from slave and became the wife of Muhammad. And Zainab bint al-Harith, she was killed. Even some hadith, there's one hadith said she was not killed, but at the end she was killed. In the end, she was killed for poisoning Muhammad. She was smart. She took the chance. Oh, you like roasted sheep? All right, I'll make you one. With poison, little bit of salt, little bit of pepper, onion, and poison. That was normally that could be the worst recipe, but anyway, she was killed for that. Now, with all the hadith we have read in front of us on the screen, I hope this is enough. This is enough evidence of how the Prophet of Allah died. I hope Muslims, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Hindu, you can read this hadith and see what actually really happened. So there's no need arguing how he died. No need lies. Don't tell us it was fever. Don't tell us he was sick. Don't tell us he was old. Just tell us the truth. If any Muslim has an ounce in his, just a little bit, if you care a little bit, just an ounce, you care about the truth, then you will tell us the truth, how Muhammad died. But if you don't care about the truth, you can continue lying. That's all from me for tonight. Thank you for listening. And whether you are the truth seeker or liars, God bless you all. Have a nice life.